to Josie Mae's Meals. Tonight's meal, we're going to make a chicken tikka masala. I have all of our spices right here. We have turmeric, cumin, coriander, salt, pepper, garam masala, and some coriander. So what I want to do first with the spices is just mix them up here rather than tossing them on top of the chicken. It'll just be easier and they'll coat more evenly. You could do this in a bowl, but just to show you guys which spices I was using, I put them all in here. Okay, just get those combined. That should be good enough for now. And I already cubed my chicken, and I'm using chicken breast. So I'm going to just transfer that chicken into this bowl. I do have quite a bit of chicken. So I have quite a bit of spice, so you'll need to change the amount of spice you use depending on how much chicken you're gonna make. Okay, just quick wash of these hands. And I'm gonna grab a little oil. If I had olive oil, I would be using olive oil. But I just ran out of it, so I have to use some good old vegetable oil, if I can get it open. The nice thing about this dish is if you wanted to prep it the day prior, you could. Should be good. I'm going to go ahead and just dump in my spice over the chicken. And I don't really have exact measurements on this. I'm kind of going just off of my eye on what I think is going to be enough spice. I guess I'll try doing this with the spoon first, but I may have to get in and use my hand. Sometimes I do this with Greek yogurt, which is really good as well. But this time I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to actually do this with some coconut milk. So I guess it's really not your typical chicken masala. It's, I guess, my take or my spin-off of that recipe. And it looks like those spices coated it just enough. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. But we're not done with the spices. Quick rinse of my spoon. The other spices that we'll be adding into the pan once this browns is going to be some ginger and some garlic. And what we're going to do first is go ahead and get this chicken browned. And I already have my pan heating up, and we're going to brown it in some clarified butter or ghee. You can make your own clarified butter, and let's take you over for a ride over to the stovetop. See if I can sit you guys right here. There we go. Good enough. So I did this in the microwave. All you really need to do for ghee is melt your butter. You want real butter. and then the white on top, you just start scooping that off the top, and that's your ghee. So I'm going to just scoop off that last bit. We're going to add the ghee into our pan. Now you can see there was some at the bottom. And then we're going to get the chicken into the pan. It looks like a crowded pan. That's all right. You know you're cooking with Indian spices when your hand turns yellow. Let me grab a top for that. And we're just going to let that brown. I'm going to turn the heat up. But I want to show you something else. I'm going to take you for a ride back over. So I decided to make this because I bought this sarson ka kasag. They're the curried mustard leaves, and one of my favorite side dishes, Indian side dishes. But I've never had it in the can. I was very curious to see how this would come out, how it would taste, and how far off it would be from, you know, something you buy, you get homemade, because I never make this homemade myself, but I'm assuming when I get it in an Indian restaurant it's homemade, hopefully. So let's get this open and see what this looks like. I got this at an Indian market. I don't know if they have this in regular markets. I've never seen it. Looks like what I usually see in the Indian market. Let me grab my spoon here. Oh yeah. Very curious to see how this will taste. So I'm going to get this going, warming up on the stove, and we'll have this with the chicken. And I also have some naan bread that we'll be having with it. I'm skipping the rice today, but we will have some naan. And we're going to go take a look at that chicken and be right back. Okay, so our chicken has browned. I'm going to remove it. Grab a bowl. And I'm just going to, it's going to be quicker way to pull this out. Let's see. There we go. So we got the juices from the chicken as well as the ghee still in the pan. We're going to use that. It smells so good in here. You guys always know anytime I cook with Indian spices, oh, the smell in the house, I just love it. Alright, so we're going to keep this going, and the thing I'm going to add in next is some onion. So I've already chopped it. I'm just going to put it right in. Hopefully I don't splash myself. And you can see I chopped it in pretty big chunks, but you could chop it any way you like it. That's my microwave beeping at me. Let me shut that. Okay, so we have this going. Let me grab my little spatula. Now I chose not to reduce the amount of liquid that was in here because I'm going to leave this uncovered. I'm going to let this cook for a few minutes and let that liquid reduce, and then I'm going to add in some tomato paste, and I'm also going to add in some tomatoes after we get it cooking with the tomato paste for a few minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to add in some of the tomato paste. You know, I'm not a fan of buying canned tomato paste because I never use enough of it, and I never get around to using the rest of it. I need to stick to buying the tube. Okay, so I'm just going to get this mixed in here, and then we kind of want to let it coat and caramelize. Okay, we'll let this go for a few minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so now the next thing I do want to add is our garlic and ginger. Nice teaspoon of the garlic. Don't want my ginger tasting like garlic, so I have to rinse that. And then we're going to put a nice teaspoon of the ginger. Okay, so I had it simmering for about 10 minutes. I'm going to start adding the chicken back into the sauce. And then I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer again for another probably 15 minutes. Just to let that sauce thicken up a little, let the chicken really immerse in these flavors that are in the pot or the pan. I made so much, I know I'm going to have leftovers. And then simmering it for about another 15 or 20 minutes or so will also give that chicken some time to go ahead and tenderize some more, make it a little more tender. So we're going to let that go. We'll be right back. Okay guys, I went ahead and plated. This is the end result. We have our chicken, our palak or curried mustard leaves, and our naan, and you could see those little bits of garlic on there, which is going to be amazing. But that's the dish. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.